folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT Radio. Today we have a couple of fun ones we're taking a look at. They're part of this new collection from Severin Films. We reviewed a few of them before, back on an episode of DEADPIT is Watching. If you want to check out our original 3 reviews for the first 3, the Vixen trilogy in the Russ Meyer Severin releases, but they have recently released 2 more, and we're going to talk about those today. If you're fans of sex comedies, vulgar, tongue-in-cheek black comedy movies, Russ Meyer's stuff, you'll definitely want to check out. We're going to take a look, 2 different releases today from 2 different decades. Classic Russ Meyer from 1965, Motorpsycho, and from 1976. Don't get this confused with the Disney movie, folks. This one is Russ Meyer's Up. And you'll know from the first second of this movie that you're not watching a Disney film by any means. To give you a little bit of backstory, I am not a aficionado of Russ Meyer films, although I've liked what I've seen thus far. The Vixen movies are a lot of fun, and I was looking forward to checking these out. Now, these came out very recently from Severin Films, and these 2 are 4K UHDs. They also released them on standard Blu-ray as well. Now, these both, to let you guys know too, are 2 discs. So the Blu-ray version and the 4K version are included. You get the best of both worlds. So we're going to dive into these individual reviews. I'm going to try. They do kind of have plots. And we're going to get into these editions and all the extra features and goodies within. First up, Motorpsycho from 1965. This is a brief 1 hour, 14-minute movie. It was made the same year as Russ Meyer's classic Faster Pussycat Kill. This was probably the lesser known of the 2 movies, but that does not mean you shouldn't check it out, right? And to be fair, for the Russ Meyer purists out there, Motorpsycho is not the type of movie that he would later become famous for. This is more or less just a straight-up thriller. This was 1965, so the cinemas and the drive-ins and all that were a lot more strict on what you could really show then. This is kind of a pioneer of the biker and revenge genre of film, though, and it features veterinarian played by Alex Rocco, who would later go on to The Godfather, and Lady in White is one that I always loved with him in it. This was his debut role. He is a veterinarian who is after these 3 evil bikers that violated his wife. And Rocco is teaming with Ruby, whose husband was killed by the trio, and she was left for dead herself. The veterinarian and the big-breasted Cajun girl are out for revenge in this 1960s drive-in black and white flick. This is beautifully made, and it does kind of work as a companion piece to Meyer's classic Faster Pussycat. It is much more of a tame film, and like I said, this was 1965. A lot more tame Russ Meyer as far as the gratuitousness, baby, in Motorpsycho. What a killer name, and look at the cover of that, right? How cool is that? They did a great job with these. These artworks are a throwback to the old VHS tapes that Russ Meyer produced himself in his studio, and they're pretty much exact copies of this, minus his home phone number on the back, which the VHSs had up until like the early 2000s, I think. But at any rate, Motorpsycho, Next one up. Now, this is more traditional Russ Meyer. And the funny thing about this one, Up from 1976, it is co-written by Roger Ebert. Yes, the Roger Ebert. The second this movie starts, you know what you're in for here. Just the traditional Russ Meyer shenanigans that we all know and love. Comedic elements, big-breasted, natural women in this. But, this one kind of starts a little off the wall even for Russ Meyer. Begins with a Hitler lookalike who's being bullwhipped by a pilgrim while being teased and tortured by big-breasted ladies. Hitler's really getting into this, though. He's liking it from both the man and the women. And the women also proceed to beat the shit out of Hitler, which he also enjoys. And soft core scenes along the way there, right? Blah, blah, blah. There's not a whole lot of plot in this. Okay, so Schittler, we'll just call him Schittler because I think technically his name in this is Adolf Schwartz. He is murdered by way of a flesh-eating piranha. Yeah, very creative there. And there's also a very odd scene with Hitler and the pilgrim whipping out his big fake penis. And, he's getting it. Hitler's getting it stuck to him. We'll just say that. So there's a mystery in the town. Who has killed Mein Fuhrer or whatever the hell his name is in this? I don't know. At the same time, nobody really gives a shit. They more care about this big-breasted hitchhiker played by Raven de la Croix, who has some massive natural knockers, right? All the men and even some of the women in town are attracted and are going after her, and they get her. She's all about that, right? This is a Russ Meyer movie. There's lots of over-the-top sex gags in this. Again, gigantic big boobies, gigantic fake Peters, Velcro thick bush in this, right? This is a comedy. It's over-the-top, zany. If you know Russ Meyer, Up is one of those movies. And it's a lot of fun, too. You just got to be very careful who you watch a movie like this with. And both of these movies, guys, to let you all know, I'm not going to get any more into, you don't. But both of these movies, excellent transfers on these. These are 4K remasters from the original camera negatives. Severin Films does an outstanding job with the transfers on all these movies. Everything that I've seen from them in the last little bit have been absolutely amazing. And these are definitely no exception. These movies are well made as well. Russ Meyer, say what you want to about, some of his choices, which I'm a fan, man. He finds these found these girls very memorable. I think Kitten Natividad is debuting in Up. And good Lord, what natural talents that lady had. However, I will say this. If you're up for just the straight up zany Russ Meyer goodness, Up is the one you want to get. If you're a completist and you're down for just the style and all that, Motorpsycho's a fucking killer one too, man. I had fun with these guys. There's not a whole lot of extras on these, but they are very, very well done. To get into the extras real quick on Motorpsycho, there's an audio commentary with film historian Elizabeth Purcell and filmmaker Zach Clark, a theatrical trailer, and on the Blu-ray, Desert Rats on Honda's an interview with actors Heiji, who also made her film debut in this, and Alex Rocco. Plenty of action and buxom women in this, yes. That's what you get. Although, no nudity, really. Very, very brief. This was 1965. You want the nudity, booyaka booyaka 606. Right. Lots of beautiful women in this. Crazy, I mean, it is what it is, man. Pure Russ Meyer excess. Yes, that's a good quote on the back of this. But the extra features on this, there is an audio commentary with film historian Elizabeth Burchell. And on the Blu-ray, No Fairy Tale This, an interview with actress Raven Delacroix, and a radio spot. Believe it or not, I don't know if there was a theatrical trailer for Up, because I don't know if this thing ever made it to theaters. This is basically a softcore porno, but it's a lot of fun. Actually, both of these are a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that Severin Films gets a hold of more of these editions. Very well made. Transfers are outstanding on this. And these guys should be very proud of these releases because it holds up, man. The hardcore fans are, I'm willing to bet that there's a few that just bought a 4K player to get these releases, right? They look great on the shelves together, that bright red. 4K. They did 4Ks of these. How killer is that? So these are out now from Severin Films, guys. I want you all to check it out. I know they're not horror movies, but they're a hell of a lot of fun. Gratuitousness in 4K UHD. And it'll never look any better than this. So check these out. Russ Meyer Classics now on 4K from Severin Films. And be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com.
I want all these people to click everything they're supposed to click.
You haven't been liking them, you haven't been subscribing to them, you haven't clicked the bell or notification or anything like that.
Folks, why don't you click the like button?
Do you hate us? Do you not want to see us succeed?
Why don't you click the heart button?
Is this something that you have against our particular show?
Why don't you subscribe?
You should click on one of them buttons right now if you want us to continue to bring greatness into your life.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. You know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
Here's what other fucking Patreons do. They're like, hey, give us money and then we'll let you see a video early that we're going to release like a fucking week from now, and then that's all we're going to give you. Meanwhile, we have a literal jukebox full of songs, thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram. And help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So Dead Pit on Patreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.